Hi friends, in this video we will continue our last topic, Laplace transform of periodic functions. So in this video I am going to discuss one problem called half sine wave rectifier function. So let me see how to find Laplace transform of half sine wave rectifier function. So the question is, find the Laplace transform of half sine wave rectifier function. F of t equal to sine omega t in the limit 0 to pi by omega, 0 for pi by omega to 2 pi by omega. So this is a problem. So for this function we have to find Laplace transform. So this is a periodic function. The condition assures that f of t plus 2 pi by omega equal to f of t is that a periodic function. This is a periodic function. So now we can proceed by our definition of Laplace transform of periodic function. We know that the formula, so let's start the solution. We know that L of f of t, the Laplace transform of the periodic function f of t is 1 by 1 minus e power minus ps equal 0 to p e power minus st f of t dt. So here in this problem the value of p is 2 pi by omega. 2 pi by omega is a period of this half sine wave rectifier function. So here just replace that p as 2 pi by omega. Therefore 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega into s equal 0 to 2 pi by omega e power minus st f of t dt. Now easily we can solve this problem because we have only one function. So e power minus 2 pi by omega into s, and see here only one function is valid and another function goes 0. That means in one interval only the function has some value, in another interval the function is 0. So the given problem can be understand like this. The given interval is 0 to pi by omega and pi by omega to 2 pi by omega. This is a given interval 0 to 2 pi by omega can be partitioned as two parts. The first part 0 to pi by omega, the function is sine omega t, f of t value is sine omega t. The second interval the value of f of t is 0. So now using this idea we can split this integral as 0 to pi by omega e power minus st into f of t dt. So f of t for 0 to pi by omega is sine omega t into dt plus the next interval is pi by omega to 2 pi by omega. So here the function value is 0. Therefore we can get 1 by 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega s integral 0 to pi by omega e power minus st sine omega t dt. So we have only this value. Here 0 into anything is 0. The integration of 0 is also 0. So the second term vanished. So you are having only one term. So that's why this problem is simply we can solve. So e power minus 2 pi by omega s integral 0 to pi by omega e power minus st sine omega t dt. So now this integration part is nothing but the combination of exponential and the trigonometric functions. So we know already formula for that. The formula of because e power minus ax sine bx into dx. So the formula is e power minus ax by a square plus b square into a sine bx minus b cos bx. So this is a formula for e power ax sine bx. Actually, here you are having plus. The formula is defined for plus. If we have minus means wherever a you have to take minus. That is it. So main formula is defined for e power ax. So e power ax sine bx dx equal to e power ax by a square plus b square into a sine bx minus b cos bx. So here for our problem, just compare this and this integral. The value of a is minus s and the value of b is omega and the variable x is nothing but t. So just replace these three things in the above formula. We can get the above expression. Therefore, L of f of t equal to 1 by 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega into s. Therefore, the integration answer for this integration answer is this one. This is the integration answer. Just you replace these variables there. So you can get the answer. So e power minus a is minus s, x value is t. So e power minus st by a square. A is minus s. So minus s square is plus s square. Plus b means omega square into a is nothing but minus s sine b value is omega x value t minus b value is omega cos omega t. That's all. So this is our integration of this one. Now take the given limit. What is the given limit here? Pi by 0 to pi by omega. That is the given limit. Now apply the limit, we can get the answer for this problem. So 1 by 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega s. Now apply the upper limit first. So e power minus s pi by omega. Wherever t changes pi by omega, divide by s square plus omega square into minus s sine omega pi by omega minus omega cos omega pi by omega. So this is your upper limit minus lower limit is e power 0. T0 means 0 and anything 0. So that is e power 0 by s square plus omega square into minus s sine 0 minus omega cos 0. If you substitute t equal to 0, the entire value will be 0. Therefore, here we can get 1 by 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega s. Just simplify this one more step. E power minus pi s by omega, we can write like that, by s square plus omega square into, here the value is minus s sine, here omega get cancelled, we can get simply sine pi minus omega into cos omega get cancelled, so we can get simply pi. Therefore, in the next time, this is the simplification of first term. The next term is minus e power 0 is 1 by s square plus omega square into minus s into sine 0 minus omega cos 0. Sine 0 is nothing but 0. So s into 0 minus omega cos 0 is 1. Actually, here we are having 1. Right. So next line, x is equal to 1 by 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega s. Now just simplify one more step. E power minus pi s by omega divide by s square plus omega square minus s sine pi value is 0 minus omega cos pi value is minus 1 and minus, here we are having 1 by s square plus omega square, s into 0 is 0 and minus omega we are having. That's it. Therefore here 1 by 1 minus e power minus 2 pi by omega s. Now here the common term, you can simplify one more step, e power minus pi s by omega by s square plus omega square. If we simplify this, s into 0 is 0, minus omega into minus 1 is plus omega. Here omega is there. Next minus into minus plus omega by s square plus omega square. So in these two terms, the common term is omega by s square plus omega square. You take it outside. 1 minus e power minus, and before that I am going to write this as e power minus 2 pi s by omega can be written as e power minus pi s by omega whole square. As per our previous problems, I taken the 2 to the whole power and take omega by s square plus omega square outside. So the remaining term is, I will write this is first term 1 plus here omega and this term gone outside. So we are having e power minus pi s by omega. Therefore here 1 by, so this is looking like a square minus b square. 1 square is 1, so a square minus b square, that form we are having. So 1 plus e power minus pi s by omega into 1 minus e power minus pi s by omega. So this is nothing but a square minus b square formula, a plus b into a minus b into omega by s square plus omega square into 1 plus e power minus pi s by omega. Now we can cancel this common term. So the remaining term is omega divided by 1 minus e power minus pi s by omega into s square plus omega square. So this is the Laplace transform of the half wave rectifier function. So I hope you understood. So we will meet in next video. Thank you.